As young people, it's vital that we vote Remain in the upcoming EU referendum on Thursday.
I'm voting to stay in Europe for the cultural and linguistic opportunities and benefits that we get from a chance to study, travel and work abroad across the wealth of European countries.
I'm voting to remain in the European Union because I think it's better for jobs, better for security and better for workers' rights.
Thanks to the EU, I can live in Paris or work in Germany without the struggle of having to get a visa.
As a science student, I think research and cross-border collaboration benefit massively from our remaining in the EU.
The EU gives young people a chance to dream of an outward-looking future, a future that's bright and not bleak, a future that's brimming with hope and not restriction. It gives young people the chance to have security in terms of jobs, opportunities to work abroad and to live abroad if they please.
As young people, we're going to have to deal with the consequences if we leave the EU.
I'm voting to stay in Europe because I know that we're economically stronger within the community of the European Union than as an isolated and weak state on our own.
There are of course problems with the European Union. They've been highlighted in this campaign, but they're problems that we can overcome and that we need to overcome. What would be very hard to overcome would be the economic damage that would follow a vote to leave in the referendum on Thursday. Jobs would be lost, jobs would be moved from the UK to the European Union. Investment coming into this part of London would stop, prices would go up in the shops, and it would take years to overcome that economic damage.
The next World Wide Web innovation, or sending a British astronaut into space, these things are much easier to achieve if we remain inside the EU.
UK universities get 15% more funding from the EU, and the UK is the second largest recipient of research funding from the EU. Without this essential pot of money, our fight against the rise in tuition fees would not have any chance of succeeding.
The Erasmus programme has helped 15,000 students study abroad in the EU this year.
The voices of young people have been totally missing from this debate. It's been dominated by two sides of the establishment bickering. This referendum and this result is far too important to let other people make it for us.
To young people, the EU promises to deliver national security for the future generation. In order to tackle cross-border conflict, we must ensure cross-border cooperation.
Being part of the EU protects the rights of workers.
We've been advocating a Remain vote since the start of the campaign because we think it's linked to better jobs, better security, better worker rights for us here.
Britain should be leading in Europe, not leaving.
Us as young people are going to be the ones that have to live with the outcome the longest. It's so important we take the matter into our own hands, get out campaigning in the last 2 days of the referendum and vote to stay in on Thursday.
I urge young people to vote Remain on Thursday because it gives them the opportunities to work, live and study elsewhere in Europe, but it's the only way we can tackle the challenges that young people face, from climate change to inequality to tax avoidance, working with other countries, not on our own. So vote Remain on Thursday.
I'm voting.
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 For a stronger and more equal Britain.
So should you.
Young people have voiced why they believe Britain should remain part of the European Union. The EU has helped young people live and study abroad for decades. Leaving the Europe will hamper development for many young people.
Let us make the decisions, not the politicians.
We need to make sure we do best by us by remaining in the European Union this Thursday.